Come
Hello,
on.
guys and gals, me Mutahar. Who wants to install a rootkit malware into their computer? Oh, is that a resounding no? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following, Valorant is a hot new free-to-play closed beta game out there, and I have no key. I haven't played it myself, and I don't want to play it myself actually, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Now, Valorant is a game, of course, closed beta, and like most multiplayer online games, it comes with an...
Today I had a kid in my game. I played a game with Gigi, and I had a kid. He's like, hey, yeah. I was like, who did you have to watch to get the game, right? And he said, on screen, and it took 3 days. I had to watch I had to even watch XTC. It sucked. He said it was. I was like, he said he had to watch XTC. I was like, oh, that must have sucked, right? He's like, yeah. Oh man.
An anti-cheat, right? You know, if you haven't been
Laughing at his own joke? Okay, first of all, I'm not laughing at my own joke because it's not a joke. It's something that happened today that I'm laughing at because it happened earlier. And it reminded me of the situation that I was in earlier. It's a different circumstance to laugh at your own joke, right? 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 Am I wrong here? I'm laughing because it was a situation that happened earlier that I'm remembering of. A joke is when I make something, I don't know. But I do laugh at my own jokes all the time. Yeah, that's true. Let's watch this virus. Sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys.
Now, Valorant
I'm
is a
so
game,
sorry.
of course, closed beta, and like most multiplayer online games, it comes with an anti-cheat, right? You know, if you haven't been following, PC gaming, you know, being as open as it is, allows people to inject code, read code, do whatever they want all the time.
Yeah.
And so in order to have an online game on PC, you need a strong anti-cheat. There's many anti-cheats that are out there, something like Easy Anti-Cheat, Steam VAC, something Microsoft makes, Blizzard
Wait a
makes,
second.
or something as absolutely...
Wait a second. I have 4K viewers right now, right? Sorry for pausing, Andy. I know, hold on. I have 4K viewers. How many are actually... Wait. Okay. When I play Valorant, it's bots, right? Because people type in the chat. But if I switch off Valorant, do you think the bots go away? Yes? You think they know that? It probably just joins the channel and stays. And then, right? So I have 4K viewers right now. Am I just popping off? Am I doing well, or was it bots from the Valorant earlier? You know, I'm trying to think about it. I don't know. Sorry, I'll watch video.
fucking dog shit as BattleEye.
Yeah,
but you know what? I'm not here to just throw anti-cheats under the bus. They serve a very vital reason to exist, and it allows us to enjoy our multiplayer games with the minimal amount of hackers. Yes, you see a hacker every now and then, but I've generally seen them getting lesser and lesser as time has went on. Consoles, as far as I'm considering, they don't really have hacks on them anyways, considering you need to have the latest firmware on a PS4 and Xbox One. So by having that and uncompromised operating systems, you can't run code on these side by side with a video game. So really, anti-cheat doesn't have to exist on these systems anyways. I'm more specifically talking about PC. Now that the whole, spiel is out there, Valorant comes with, or most Riot game stuff at this point as far as I know, comes with something called Vanguard. Now, if you don't know what Vanguard is, let me fill it in real quickly. Basically, players who have played the Valorant closed beta have found out that, hey, this game has a kernel anti-cheat driver, vgk.sys, that runs every time you turn your computer on. What he means by kernel anti-cheat, and this is something that I'm going to get into, okay? Most modern-day operating systems comes with something called protection rings. So ring 0, ring 1, ring 2, ring 3. This runs in ring 0 for the Windows kernel permission, meaning that it has administrator access. It runs pretty much with the highest elevated administrator privileges on your Windows 10 device as soon as it fires.
Can someone hack into the anti-cheat and use that to hack people? Or is that no?
Fires up. This is not okay. This is what we like to call a rootkit. This is something that could be used for very nefarious purposes, and it's very willingly installed by people who want to play this game. Now, going down, somebody from Riot Arkham, one of their community managers, I believe, actually responded to this. Yes, we run a driver at system startup. It doesn't scan anything. Pinky promise, of course, Riot Games is owned by Tencent, operating in a country, China, where they can completely get a backdoor into any big tech firm, which Tencent has graciously allowed them time and time. How much you want to trust them now after hearing that? That's up to you. But it doesn't communicate to...
So you're saying China could use this as a weapon by mechanically hacking that one employee in an industry of a corporation that has 4,000 employees. They literally mine hack by getting one of their employees that's a gamer to install Valorant and use that employee to get in the system.
To our servers, you can remove it anytime. You can easily figure this out by applying Wireshark and just seeing how this specific driver relays information. And it probably doesn't. I'll give them credit. I haven't tested it myself, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That still doesn't make it okay. Vanguard contains a driver component called VGK.sys, similar to other anti-cheat systems. Not all, but some of the very elevated ones that specifically target VMs as well. It's the reason why a reboot is required after installing. Yes, you have to initialize the rootkit somehow,
I didn't reboot.
Vanguard doesn't consider the computer trusted unless the Vanguard driver is loaded at system startup. This is good for stopping cheaters because a common way to bypass anti-cheat systems is to load cheats before the anti-cheat system starts and either modify system components to contain a cheat or have the cheat tamper with the anti-cheat system as it loads. Running the driver at system startup makes this significantly more difficult, but not impossible. I don't know if Riot Games knows this very well, but anybody who knows anything about hacking or anybody that really wants to make money off making Valorant hacks can figure out something about SMM, which is a system management mode. In a lot of these microprocessors, typically the ones that are using to power this game, and utilize that using that mode. They can actually bypass this software in theory. Now, of course, as far as I can recall, Riot Games, I'm still a little fucking hazy on all this, as far as I know, Riot Games can very easily require that secure boot on Windows 10 is a must when booting. It's not hard to bypass it, it can be done. And it's already been done because the game has actually required some bans going on. There's people actually cheating in the closed beta, so it doesn't work despite giving up your privacy in such a fashion. We've tried to be careful with the security of the driver. We've had multiple external security research teams review it for flaws. We don't want to accidentally decrease the security of the computer like other anti-cheat drivers have done in the past. Again, who are these security researcher teams? And given the fact that Tencent is behind it, how do I know they're not bought and paid for? Again, I know that sounds conspiracy-ish, but like I said, this is a big money-making business. I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go as hard on this as I can. The Vanguard driver does not collect or send information about your computer back to us. Again, I'll believe that, but it doesn't make any of this okay. The Vanguard driver can be uninstalled at any time. It'll be Riot Vanguard and add or remove programs. If that's true, and of course it is, because you can do that, why not allow us to toggle it on or off? Why is it a 24/7, as long as your computer is fired on, a requirement? I get it. You want to make sure code isn't running all the time. But how can we trust that this isn't collecting information or scanning the system just on your word? Again, Riot Games is owned by Tencent. Do the fucking math. We think this is an important tool in our fight against cheaters. Yeah, I don't think for a fucking video game I'd let my computer have a goddamn rootkit put into it. Now, you may be wondering, well, Muda, why would Tencent want to steal my data? They probably don't. Honestly, they don't fucking care. But the reality of it is, by installing a rootkit on your computer, think about it just logically for a second. You don't care, Riot Games don't care, Tencent doesn't care. Who would care about having Ring 0 administrator privilege access into anybody's computer at any given time? Some hacker. Just because Tencent wouldn't be abusing this doesn't mean that a hacker wouldn't take a look at a rootkit installed on somebody's computer and say, hey, maybe I can use it to my advantage. Riot and Tencent, or any security team they hire, isn't the Jesus of programming. There will be cracks in your programming. There will be a security breach. And for something that has Ring 0, kernel-level access into your operating system, yes, meaning the highest level of permissions, why you would choose to install that and have an actual backdoor in your system is beyond me. If you're willing to do that, then don't worry about the NSA backdooring into your system, because congratulations, you just created the easiest backdoor rootkit into your system by playing this game. Now, I don't want to blame Riot Arkham for this because he's a programmer, anti-cheat lead for Valorant, and I'm sure he knows what he's doing. I'm sure everything that I've mentioned up until this point has flown by his head through and through. I get it. I'm sure he knows it just fine, and I'm not throwing him under the bus by any of this to begin with. But it's not a foolproof solution. I don't agree that installing a rootkit onto your computer for a video game is something that's okay. Now, asking Riot Arkham, he's mentioned numerous times that currently we do not support playing the game inside a virtual machine. If you don't understand, I'm going to go into a situation where you can have your cake and eat it too. You may be wondering, Muda, if you care about this so much, how do you play games like Siege? They have anti-cheat, same thing with every game that I play pretty much online has an anti-cheat. Now, to put into perspective, I virtualize Windows 10. I have Linux running 24/7 on my system. I use Linux for nearly everything. But when I have to play a game like Rainbow Six Siege or GTA Online, then I simply get a Windows 10 virtual machine and I pass a graphic card over to it. I've made a video of it in the past that you can check out if you want to get into the really nerdy shit like this. And what I do is I basically, instead of allowing...
Dude, he's a super nerd, but he plays with 2 monitors and he constantly has to play like this because his screen is on the left. Dude, what the fuck?
A dual boot where I let Windows 10 run on my bare system, giving it access to everything connected to my computer. What I do is I just virtualize Windows 10, and that's safer because what I do is I pass a graphic card.
How do you play
I pass
like
a hard
this?
drive that literally is just the Windows 10 OS
How do you play
and
like
the
this?
games that I'm using, so no outside access
This
to any of my...
so unfucking wanted, man. This, dude, imagine your middle monitor and your left monitor combined. Yeah, that would hurt my neck. I feel it.
Personal data, and I pass through my keyboard and my mouse, and that's it. Otherwise, I just load the system up, play my games, and shut it down, and I go right back to Linux. It's a lot safer.
Curved monitors suck too.
It contains everything, and if I run malware in Windows 10 virtual machines,
is it
not
bad?
going to break out and attack me at my OS level Linux. And that's something that I do, and I feel like most people should do that.
I still haven't switched. I just
most
muted the video.
people.
I still haven't switched to 1080. I bought. Look. I'm using a fucking 1920 by a 1080, right, on my main. But my left screen is this is a way bigger monitor and a more expensive monitor. This is a Dell 144 hertz 144p, whatever, 1440p one, right? It's big. It was expensive like a year ago, 2 years ago. It was very expensive, but I bought it. And it's beautiful. It's honestly beautiful, but it was too big for games. I remember it was one of my Fortnite phase. I hated it because it was way too big. I switched back to my a smaller size, you know. 1080p because it's better, in my opinion. I feel maybe I'm, and I feel like higher resolution is more laggier too, right? For streaming, if you get a dual PC, that's how you can do it. If I go to 1440p, my games are gonna start lagging too. Then I'll start feeling the FPS. Why are you guys putting question mark? Isn't it gonna be more lag? The games will be required to run more FPS because you're going from 1080 to 1440p. It's GPU shit. No, I'm streaming on the GPU 1080p quality. The GPU is not shit. I have the best GPU. It's hard to stream on one. Okay? I know this, chat. If you're a streamer, if you're a streamer and you're on one PC still, 1080p is best, I feel. Yep. Use CPU encoder? Hell no. It's actually known to be better to use the graphic card one because the GPU encoders have a separate thing in the graphic card to do it. It doesn't fuck with your game. It's pretty cool. NVNC is top tier.
People use a computer should switch towards. Why trust Microsoft or any closed source system out there when you can just use their software without all of the security risks? I haven't had a Windows update break on me when I started using VFIO or Linux KVM. It just works right. It works better than
Lyric
if I
plays on a
installed it
4K?
natively to my system anyways. Now, that doesn't mean that just because I game like that, it's all safe. Siege works, Modern Warfare works, GTA Online works, but Valorant will not work. And Valorant, unfortunately, will not work on my system. It won't work on Shadow PC. It won't work on NVIDIA GeForce Now, as those are all virtualized machines. And it's a system to actually prevent hacking. A lot of people who really do high-level game hacks will use VMs like I do. It's sort of a double-edged sword type scenario. But it's not okay to blanket ban all of them. Now, I don't know if what Riot does is something like Paranoid Fish, where
So that you could ban a hacker MAC address, right?
test for VMs. I feel like that would use a lot of system resources anyways. So I think it's something that they're digging
You can
up
bypass
specifically, and
hardware
I'm sure
bans
in
by
due
using a virtual
time
system.
We'll be able to spoof it. At one point, CSGO couldn't run in a VM, but now it runs just fine, as far as I know and I've tested. So ladies and gentlemen, going into the meat and crux of all of this, this is a video game that is fine, okay? I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the anti-cheat. The anti-cheat that...
Yo, we cool? What the fuck happened, dude? I got one of those weird things. It was like OBS disconnected error right over here. I've had that error so many times without even DCing.
Oh, hell
So I thought it was like
no.
a fake DC. It's like, what the hell, chat? Look. And then I actually DC'd. We're back.
and Riot won't do it because I don't think they'll do anything bad with it necessarily, even though I do have my doubts, of course. What I do know wholeheartedly is what I'm installing is a fucking rootkit. This is pretty much as close to malware. It is malware, in my opinion. And by allowing yourself to have a backdoor this blatant, you're opening yourself up to getting hacked by anybody else in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Valorant may be a fine game, but Vanguard is one of the worst intrusive anti-cheat systems that I've seen. It's not to be negative. Again, it's to point out that this could potentially happen. If you are okay with that, then by all means install the game and call it a day. But if you're worried about
I agree 100%. This is scary. GG fucking the internet. Should we call Gigi and let her stream gameplay and see how good she's doing or bad? Come on, let me see what she's doing. Dude, chat, I helped her today in training. I just picked up her whole sentence. Dude, she's top fragging with everyone she plays with. She's top fragging right now. She's 11-4. Dude, my viewers are playing with her. You guys need to step it up. Dude, she does the hard training map. Dude, you know that hard training, super hard with the bots pop up? She gets 11 on it. Is that good? 11. Dude, she's a console gamer, dude. She just started. For someone who just started PC is insane. Kind of crazy to me.
privacy and security even a little bit, maybe hold
I get
off
30
on
every
this
time.
and wait until it runs in a virtual machine and run it that way, because running it natively may not be the play. And if you're worried again about security privacy, it definitely ain't the play in my opinion. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like it if you dislike it.
Zoom the
Sorry if
same?
I get too nerdy sometimes. It's a passion of mine. I know that most people hate when I get nerdy or some shit, so let me know in the comment section below.
What?
And I'll,
isn't
and
that,
I'll keep my
isn't
nerd-
that all your channel? Isn't it being nerdy pog about his channel? What? What do they want from him?